Taylor right along the ringside. And boy, are we ready for today's show. The thing is, I've got some good news that you've got, and I got some bad news we'll get to in just a moment, David.
Well, the good news is we have not one but two title matches this week. I think that's the first time ever we were talking about it that we've had two title defenses on the same program. We'll have the Southern Tag titles on the line as the Mod Squad will be defending them today. And then a little bit later, it'll be Billy Travis defending his international title. Now, both of the matches will have half-hour time limits. We do have a couple of standby matches if there's time for them.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting, too, to note that we've got some guys that really can go in both sets of matches in there. We've got Paul Diamond, and we've got Pat Tanaka that will be challenging the Mod Squad.
Good team.
And young together, but boy, do they look good together. And we've got the hustler Rip Rogers, who has many times held championship belts. He'll be the one going after Billy Travis. That's the good news, and we're going to get to it in a moment. The bad news very quickly. Unfortunately, in Jackson, Tennessee, in a bout in the Jackson Coliseum there, Jerry the King Lawler dropped the Southern Heavyweight title to Bill Dundee. And that, of course, is a story that we want to investigate. We'll have more on it a little bit later on. Right now, let's get ready for big championship wrestling action. Back to it in just a moment. Had during the week a few people say, what was all this stuff about $445 and Dutch Mantell and all? And say it was an interesting enough situation, and I think we want to recap a little bit of it. I want you to take a look at a situation involving J.D. Costello, and keep your eye on Dutch Mantell, too. Let's look. Personally extend my condolences on your mother's passing, and we're very sorry to hear about it. And I think enough said about that.
Lance, let me tell you one thing. To you, you aren't sorry about anything that happens to me, and I don't appreciate you saying anything about that. The fans aren't sad about it. You're not sad about it. You badmouthed the Mod Squad. You badmouthed myself behind my back, and I'm not going to put up with it. The only person that's sad about it, the only person that's hurt about it, is myself. But behind every dark cloud is a silver lining, and today you are looking at probably the richest man on the face of the earth. When I was summoned home for the tragedy from New Orleans last week, Lance, I went into my mother's study, and she had left me a note, and I require you to read that on television today. Here, I want you to read it.
Well, now, this is a personal matter. Maybe you'd prefer that we...
Read it.
Okay, this is to J.D. Costello. Dear son, you have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are successful. You and the Mod Squad have risen to fame, fortune in such a short time. Not only is your inheritance guaranteed, but I'm leaving the entire Costello estate and corporation to you and only you. Your brothers and sisters are nothing compared to you. Signed,
I have inherited all the money. My brothers and sisters have inherited nothing. It's all mine. The corporation, the estate, it's all mine. I have spent all week with my lawyers and auditors going over the amount of money that I have inherited. We haven't finished, but it's approximately valued at $20 million. I'll have a complete report for you next week. Now that I am probably the richest man on the face of the earth, it's time for me to become the most powerful man on the face of the earth. All week long, I have been doing financial reports and contracts and negotiations with different wrestlers within this organization, and I'm proud to announce today the Costello dynasty has been formed. First,
well, you've gathered quite a group here, J.D.
There's one wrestler, though, that I have not been able to get in contact with all week. I think he's a great wrestler, and without a doubt, I believe he can become the World Heavyweight Champion in a very short time under the auspices of J.D. Costello. That wrestler is Dutch Mantell. Now, I've been trying to get in contact with him all week, and I can't. He's a loner. He stays to himself. I understand that he's here today. What I want to do, Dutch, is to offer you part of my dynasty. You know, I think you're a great wrestler. Sometimes you're on a crooked road, though, and what I want to do...
something about money, a financial arrangement.
A financial arrangement,
well,
yes.
How much money are you talking about, J.D.?
Well, I've thought about it a long time, Dutch, and what I'm wanting to offer you first is just an incentive to come to my dynasty. is the amount of money that you made last year as a bonus upfront money. I'll put it in an escrow account, and it can be yours today.
You mean what he made all of last
What
year?
he made all of last
know
year.
what I made last year, J.D.
I don't need to know what you made last year. With all the money that I have, it doesn't matter. I've got a whole lot more money than you made last year, and it will all be yours, Dutch. In addition to that, when you join me, I will grant you a 50% increase in pay over the next year, Dutch.
You mean you're guaranteeing him, in addition to putting aside what he made last year, you're guaranteeing him 50% more than he made last
I sure
year?
am. Dutch is an excellent wrestler. I want him part of our dynasty so we can rule professional wrestling.
You must want him bad.
Now, you will guarantee me everything I made last year up front.
Right.
Up front money.
Front money.
And you'll guarantee me a 50% increase on that in regular salary?
Yes, Dutch. Yes, Dutch. You're a great wrestler. I'm prepared to offer you whatever you want. You are going to make it, Dutch, under the auspices of J.D. Costello. You're going to make it right to the top. You can beat Ric Flair. You can be the world heavyweight champion, and I'll see to it that you get there. You'll enjoy fame. You'll enjoy fortune. Sign the contract, Dutch. Come on.
I'm looking at your crew back here that you've signed up, and I should be worth a lot of money. Now, a rich man like you got $20 million, and you wear a nice thread.
Exact, thank you.
And you need to, I guess you enjoy the finest cars and the finest standard of life.
Of course.
Am I correct or not?
Of course, and you can enjoy that too.
And I figure that a man with so much money should be walking around with like $3,000 or $4,000 on him right now. And why don't you just give me some money right now?
Let me say
And
this.
let's see what's
Be careful, Dutch.
Down
Now,
here,
are you serious?
I am very serious, Dutch. I'm very serious as I can be. But
Let me
understand.
tell you, money talks and bull Durham walks. You know what I'm talking about?
And down here in the South, Dutch, I can't walk around with a lot of money because all these heathens out here in the studio and at home, you know, they could come up to me and rob me. They know how much money I'm worth and everything. But I'll write you a blank check.
No.
$20,000 check. It can be yours.
I don't want a check. I want hard, cold cash. Now, how much money you got on you?
Well,
If you want to,
let's see.
How much money you got on
I
you
don't
right
carry around much money. Let me.
you ought to carry around a couple grand anyway.
I don't cut. I just can't.
He's already said he's afraid of all the people robbing.
100, 200, 300, 420. I carry around 400. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Are you serious or not?
I am very serious,
Well, why
Dutch.
don't we
I
just
want
take
you.
this for some earnest money?
I don't know about
I'll tell you
that.
what. I'll tell you what we got,
Let's,
JD. Baby, we got a deal.
we need to probably sign the contracts first before you walk away with my money, Dutch.
It's in his pocket, J.D.
He's
It's already in his
not
pocket.
signed any contracts with me, and he's walking away with my money. What is going on here, Lance Russell?
Well, I think what happened, I think your $445 bought you the opportunity to talk to Dutch again.
That's not a beforehand deal. My money. He's walking away with my money, Mod Squad. He's
yes, he
walking
did.
away with my money.
Yeah, he walked away.
But here comes J.D. Costello back.
Wait. It's over with. Hey.
What are you doing, J.D.?
Hey, come on.
Costello ringing the bell, not
Because
us.
I said it's over with. Dutch Mantell has messed with the wrong person. He's messed with J.D. Costello. This match is finished. I have a personal score to settle with this man. It's going to be one-on-one. The match is over with. Clear out that geek from Ethiopia, Tony Falk. Get him out. Get him out of the ring.
We got no business coming out here. The match is now officially over with. Dutch went in behind, rolled him up, got a 1, 2, 3. And
Out of the ring. He is not going to do that to me. Nobody steals 1 cent from J.D. Costello. You don't. Eddie Merlin doesn't. And that thing in the ring doesn't either. I'm not putting up with it. You get out of the ring, Tanaka. I want him right there. Dirty Dutch Mantell.
you want him by himself? You better have all the company you can get. J.D. Costello stripping down to fighting size.
I'm not putting up with it. Don't you laugh at me either. Either one of you.
I'm just telling you, J.D., I'd think it over. J.D. peels off his tie, his shirt, his coat. He's in the ring with Dutch Mantell. J.D. A attacks Dutch. Now he's outside running. His first attack didn't get too far. Uh-oh. Costello caught by Mantell. Here comes the Mod Squad. Here's the whole dynasty of Costello. Pat Rose, Tony Falk, Abdul Gaddafi.
Well, they got them all in there. Costello is now backed away from a lot out of dough.
We need some help for Dutch. Paul Diamond, Billy Travis, Jeff Jarrett, Pat Tanaka, Jim Jameson. And a brawl ensues. Ring. What a mess that was, I got to tell you. Hey, in case you missed it a little earlier, boy, we made the announcement. One, we got 2 title shots on Championship Wrestling today. And in addition to that, in an unscheduled match that took place in the Coliseum in Jackson, Tennessee, Jerry Lawler lost the AWA Southern Heavyweight title to Bill Dundee. Dundee has it back again. A lot of controversy now. You can imagine in this son of a gun, as one result, Davey, something that's already happened, and we may go into this a little bit later on. The referee, Jesse Allen, has been suspended by Eddie Marlin following that match. So there's an awful lot of controversy, but as of now, Bill Dundee has the AWA Southern Heavyweight title. We want to call J.D. Costello out here. J.D. said he had some update on his situation as he described last week, and coming out in his best business attire with briefcase, and yes.
I ask you kindly, before the show began, not to show that videotape on the air about me and Dutch Mantell.
Well, we thought we
but you took it upon yourself to do it anyway.
It's all right.
Well, let me tell you one thing. I am tired of associating myself with all the peons of the world. I have made a horrible, terrible mistake with the formation of my dynasty. And let me show you the graph that I went by. I was taught this in business school to do this. This is the dynasty business graph. I employed the pyramid theory to build my creation with. I started at the bottom with a solid base of wrestlers, and I wanted to move my way to the top. But it don't work. It doesn't work in professional wrestling. You have to start right at the top. Well, last week, Dutch Mantell humiliated me on television, on national television, came out here and took $845 worth of my good money and walked away with it. Well, I gave him the whooping of his life in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
And I got $2 back. Well, this week, secretly, I've been negotiating with superstar Bill Dundee and Buddy Landell to get them to sign contracts with me. I proved what a valuable asset I am to them, both of them. In several matches, there's Joe LeDuc in the ring getting ready to throw him over the top rope. Who was it that went up there and shot fire on Joe LeDuc to save their souls from getting thrown and all the bones broken in their body? Yes, it was J.D. Costello. Who went out with handcuffs when Bill Dundee was lying flat on his back? He didn't know what to do. He was going to lose his match. Yeah, it was J.D. Costello who went out there. Well, this week, I went into the dressing room and I had a long talk with Bill Dundee and Buddy Landell. I offered them exclusive 3-year contracts to join J.D. Costello's dynasty. And what do? They threw me out of the dressing room. They spit on me. They slapped me in the face. They humiliated me behind all my friends. Well, Bill Dundee, you keep strutting around. You're not going to be part of my dynasty. And Buddy Landell, go ahead and dye your hair a little bit more. You're the nature boy, but you're never going to be part of J.D. Costello's dynasty. In wrestling, you have to go straight to the top. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm the man with the money. I do as I please. I'm going right to the top, and I'm going to the wrestler who has everybody around here. The greatest wrestler of all time. I'm talking about the king of professional wrestling, Jerry Lawler.
Come on,
he is going to join J.D. Costello's dynasty. Now, my staff has went to work all week, and I had them prepare me Jerry Lawler's scouting report, and I studied it, and also his wrestling history. The scouting report told me what I already know. He is the greatest wrestler of all time. But when I got to the wrestling history, I learned some new things. That he is most successful when he has a manager. Like when he had Jimmy Hart, he was successful. Like when he had Sam Bass, he was successful. Now he needs J.D. Costello to make him successful. I'll bring him back to success. He'll be in all the main events. I'll see to it that he wins all of his matches. He'll be very rich, and he'll make me make more money. So today on television...
You have already talked to him about
No,
this?
I'm going to do it today. I am going to offer him a lucrative agreement and make him a lot of money and make me a lot of money.
I think you're barking up the wrong tree again, J.D.
I want you to take a look at this, Lance Russell. When we're talking about money, we're talking about... This is more money than you've ever seen.
You got that right.
Geeks in the audience and at home, it's more money than you've ever seen either. I want you to look at this.
Let's turn it down and let everybody see it.
$100,000. As you see, it's in 10 lump sums of $10,000 each. It's $100,000, and I'm going to give it to Jerry Lawler today as an incentive to join J.D. Costello's dynasty.
Good.
So let's get Jerry Lawler out here right now, and as a bonus, I'll throw in this beautiful $500 briefcase.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to do it for Jerry Lawler.
That's quite a...
So for the king of professional wrestling, come on out here, meet your brand new manager.
Jerry is here.
Oh, this is going to be the most exciting thing that's ever happened in the world of professional wrestling today. It's going to be the biggest contract ever signed, Lance Russell, between Jerry Lawler and J.D. Costello.
He's got a lot of money, Jerry. I'll tell you that. It's legit. It's all in there. We were standing right here looking at it.
Let me see it again.
I wouldn't mind taking another look at it either.
It's not fake.
No.
It's all new.
That's all the genuine greenbacks right there. $1,000 clumps of it right there. 10,000.
Get it right, Lance.
Hey, I can't count all those zeros in there.
You've never
Good
seen this
night.
much money. I know that.
Yeah, you're right. As a matter of fact.
It can be yours, Jerry Lawler. You're the greatest wrestler of all time. You've had a few upsets recently. I know you lost your belt. I can help you get your belt back. I saw what Bill Dundee, he stole it from you with the help of Jesse Allen. It now can come back to you because of me. You need a manager.
Yeah.
You had Jimmy Hart. You had Sam Bass. You need J.D. Costello.
Let me stop you right there, J.D. Costello. Let me just tell you a few things. I want everybody to listen up here because, and as most of all, I want you to listen up. First of all, if you think that you're going to be able to come out here and convince me and convince any of these people that you and Bill Dundee aren't thick as thieves, you got another thing coming, brother. Do you think for 1 minute that I'm going to sit here and think that Bill Dundee didn't have you sitting in the back in those matches waiting to bring those handcuffs down there, or didn't have you sitting in the back down there? I saw him motion for you to come down to ringside in the match where you burned Joe LeDuc. Now, you think you're going to come out here and convince the people that you and Dundee aren't together in this kind of situation?
We're not. That was for Joe LeDuc. I shot fire on Joe LeDuc. I handed in the handcuffs for Joe LeDuc.
Let me tell you something.
It wasn't anything against you, Jerry.
I know exactly what you got in mind, J.D. You and Dundee have sat up late at night and you've hatched a little plot. You'd like to get my name on a contract so that you could control the kind of matches I get. You know why? Because then it would be the last match on earth that I'd ever get would be a Southern title match with Dundee. You would make sure of that, wouldn't you, J.D.? You'd make sure that Dundee wouldn't have to worry about me anymore because you would be the one that would be booking my matches. Well, let me tell you something, punk. I'm not signing any contract because your $100,000 don't impress me. It might impress some people, brother, but it don't impress me. And let me tell you something else. You talk about managers. You talk about managers, brother. You talk about Jimmy Hart and you talked about Sam Bass.
Exactly.
Well, you can talk about Jimmy Hart because you and he are in about the same category. You're both two leeches.
Now, wait a minute.
Now, listen. You wait a minute. You listen, brother. You've been out here running your mouth. Now I'm going to do a little talking. You and Jimmy Hart are just alike. You're both a couple of wimps. The only thing athletic about you is your feet. You don't know anything about sweating. You don't know anything about working. You've had everything handed to you on a silver platter. You see that punk Jimmy Hart? He was playing in a band. He never had an athletic bone in his body. He was never an athlete. He never wrestled. He never played any sports. He was a little musician, and he was playing in some dive over here and working for $50 a night and all the bar napkins he could take home. And I felt sorry for the guy because at one time he went to the same high school I did, and I thought he was a big shot. So I had pity on him, and I took him into the wrestling business. He didn't earn his way in there. I took him in, brother. I let him in. And he became, just like you are, J.D., a leech. He hooked himself onto my back because he saw me as his meal ticket, brother. And that's what he used me for. He milked me for all the money he could get out of me, and then the first opportunity that he saw that he thought I couldn't make him any more money, he was gone, brother. He was no longer my manager. And that's what you are, J.D. You're not an athlete. You've never wrestled. You've never had on a pair of wrestling tights. You've never played and participated in any sports because you are a wimp, about a 150-pound wimp, and you are a leech, J.D. Costello. You have found, you guys, the Mod Squad.
and you have latched onto them because you see them as a meal ticket, brother. That's all you do. Now, let me tell you about Sam Bass. There's a lot of people out here that may not know about Sam Bass because he died about 10 years ago. But he was my manager. And I'm proud to say that he was not only my manager, he was my best friend, brother. He started out in this wrestling business, hauling a ring and setting it up for the promotion. Then he worked himself up to being a referee. Then he worked himself up to wrestling, and he had a knowledge, and he knew what it was like to sweat and bleed for this sport. And he deserved to be a manager, and he deserved to be my friend. But you, J.D. Costello, you don't deserve any of this. Now, you can talk about Jimmy Hart, but don't ever even mention the name Sam Bass again, or I'll break your stinking pencil neck. Do you understand me, punk? I don't know.
There he goes. J.D. Costello committed a no-no. He slapped Jerry Lawler. Lawler chasing him into the ring. Lawler starting to rip off. What? Are you believing that? Take a look at that, Dave. Maybe we need another camera shot.
Are you believing that?
Well, I told you it was going to be a sparkling show. We better take a break right now, and we'll be back in just a moment. Woo, we got a lot to see on this championship wrestling program. Be back into it in just one moment. Hey, listen, Wednesday night, Evansville Coliseum, you are going to love it. 7 complete matches. 3 of the bouts will be Landell against Joe LeDuc. We're talking about an international title bout with Bill Dundee and Billy Travis, and Jerry Lawler and Dutch Mantell against the Mod Squad. More on that a little bit later. Buddy Landell all by himself,
That's
Joe.
right. I got Buddy Landell. You know, Blondie, let me tell you something. You try to break chairs over my head. You try to bring people to burn me. You tried a lot of things, Landell, and you don't succeed. What makes you think that one-on-one you're going to do anything?
Well, I want to see that one. One-on-one, Landell and LeDuc. And then the international heavyweight defense, Billy Travis going against one of the cagiest guys in the doggone business, Bill Dundee. Billy?
You know, Lance, Dundee's taking me lightly, and I'm glad he's underestimating me because I'm going to do everything in my power to keep my belt because it wasn't given to me. I had to work hard for it, and Dundee, you're going to have to work hard for it too, brother, because I'm going to keep my belt in Evansville.
What a determined young champion. You're going to be looking forward to seeing that one also. Right now, let's take a listen and see what Buddy Landell and Bill Dundee have to say about it.
You know, but all I got to say about Billy Travis is the boy's an up-and-coming star, and up-and-coming to, well, something. Some people say he's a star. Well, I'm just going to tell you something, folks. If you blink, you're going to miss this match. But no, you got the big bald Canuck, man. What you going to do?
Hey, Bill, this is something that I've been waiting for. You see, that stupid Canuck, he ain't got Lawler to hide behind. He ain't got Jeff Jarrett to hide behind. LeDuc, it's just you and me. And I don't care, baby, what you say. I don't care how strong you are. You say you're going to throw this and that up over the top. Hey, baby, I ain't Jerry Lawler. I'm the nature boy, baby. I'm taking you out.
All of that in the Lawler-Mantell Mod Squad match coming up Wednesday night at Evansville.
Jerry the King Lawler out here to go against the Libyan Abdul Gaddafi. 1 fall, 15-minute time limit. And in Gaddafi's corner, you saw him just leaving the left side of your screen there. That's Tony Falk, acting as a manager advisor out here to Gaddafi today.
King going against Abdul Gaddafi, and over in his corner is executive director.
Executive director, is that his title? Yeah, Tony Falk.
Maybe he's the CEO of the dynasty.
Okay. Whoa, body slam by Gaddafi on Lawler. Lawler back up on his feet, though. This Gaddafi's big. He weighs in at 282.
telling Falk, I'll pull your pants off, and you probably got the same thing on Costello did. Lawler not in a good frame of mind to boot because of the situation of him dropping the AWA title, the Southern Heavyweight title, under very, very unusual circumstances in Jackson, Tennessee. So Lawler not feeling as happy as he might, and it's understandable. Gaddafi.
Look out, Abdul, the right hand by Jerry Lawler. Gaddafi upset. He got tagged with that right fist by Lawler. Minute and a half gone. Jerry Lawler grabs Falk up on the apron. Gaddafi nails him from behind. Falk holding Lawler up. Lawler ducks out of the way. And both their heads slam together. Falk down to the apron and the floor. Look out behind, Jerry, the Mod Squad, and J.D. Costello. But now it's the Mod Squad, Spike, Basher, Gaddafi, Falk, all on Lawler. J.D. Costello
giving him.
Ooh.
The Mod Squad, Spike, shot him with that fire. Lawler shot. Incidental to it all, Lawler wins by a disqualification, but he was shot. I've never seen anything right here on Championship Wrestling. That you're talking about going too far. They get Lawler back. Got to have him ministered to. We're going to take time out, and I'm going to see if we can get some further information on Lawler. We'll take time out and be back in just a moment.
Championship Wrestling show we have had today, my friend, and by golly, there's still more to come. You'll want to see that. Let me tell you about the entire card coming up Wednesday night, Evansville Coliseum. Can I tell you, a lot of folks going to be there. They're going to want to see the main event and all the other card. Make your plans right now. Opening up will be Tojo Yamamoto going against The Undertaker. Frank Morrell will be facing Abdul Gaddafi. Pat Rose and Tony Falk will be going against Jeff Jarrett and Pat Tanaka. Rip Rogers, the Hustler, will be facing Paul Diamond. That'll be a dandy of a single match. And then stand by. Joe LeDuc, Buddy Landell, a single match, one-on-one. Following that will be the International Heavyweight title. Bill Dundee going to try to make quick work of Billy Travis. Could be very interesting. And then that final bout. Are you listening to this? J.D. Costello and the Mod Squad will have to face Dutch Mantell and Jerry the King Lawler. Wednesday night going to be Havoc Night in Evansville. You be there.
Back in here after interfering with the last match. J.D. Costello and his Mod Squad. Mod Squad with the Southern Tag Team Championship belts in hand. Those belts are going to be on the line here today in a Southern Tag Team title match. It'll be a half-hour time limit, one fall, and here are the challengers for the title. Out of Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, Paul Diamond, and from Hawaii, Pat Tanaka. They'll be going against the Mod Squad, Spike and Basher, J.D. Costello with a Mod Squad rule book under his arm. There are the belts. The referee says this is what is at stake. Southern Tag Team Championships. All right. As soon as we get them sorted out here. Championship match underway. Paul Diamond starting for his team. Spike and Basher, the Mod Squad. They've held these Southern Tag titles for quite some time now. Paul Diamond lets him go by a couple of times. Both of them into the rope. The press by Paul Diamond. Count is one. Count of one is all he gets. Diamond had a quick press down to the mat. able to hold him for a 1 count. But the Mod Squad still alive here.
I hope you know by now, Dave, that nobody humiliates J.D. Costello on television. You don't, Lance doesn't, Eddie Merlin doesn't, and Jerry Lawler doesn't.
J.D., I would say one thing. You better watch yourself.
I'm sure Jerry Lawler's in a lot of pain right now, and I'm just grinning from ear to ear about it.
Smile while you can, sir, because I guarantee you the king is going to come looking for you. Sooner or later, there's going to be payback time for that one. You better believe it. Pat Tanaka, young Hawaiian. Boy, he's looked good. Oh, what a chop. Spike and Basher, the Mod Squad, defending the Southern Tag Team titles here today. They've just made a tag. This is Basher in here now. Pat Tanaka tags Paul Diamond. We're about 2 minutes into the action. Remember, it's a half-hour time limit. J.D. Costello wandering by the table from time to time.
You know, in all the scouting reports I've looked over, Jerry Lawler loves to throw fire on people. Well, he's met his match now. J.D. Costello and the Mod Squad, we're the masters of disaster, and we have the art perfected in throwing fire. So Jerry Lawler better watch out. We're here. We're not going anywhere. We have a history of putting all tag teams out of commission and all wrestlers out of commission. The Mod Squad's here. The Mod Squad's going to be here tomorrow. But who knows about Jerry Lawler?
Another word from J.D. Costello. Mod Squad taking control of this one against Paul Diamond. They got him over close to their corner. I didn't see exactly what happened while J.D. was over here running his mouth, but the match took a sudden turn, and there's a cover. Count is 1. Count of 2. Paul Diamond kicks out of it. So Diamond and Tanaka, their bid for the Southern Tag titles still going on. Basher waits. Clotheslines Paul Diamond coming off the ropes. Paul Diamond hooks him down. Count is 1. 1 count. He can't make it stick for the 3. Paul Diamond a couple of times has been able to take one of the Mod Squad down for a count or 2 counts in one point. Hasn't been able to get that all-important number 3, though, which would give him Paul Diamond and Pat Tanaka the Southern Tag title. Reversal. Nice one by Paul Diamond. Young Canadian giving a good show of himself, even though he's been battered by both of the Mod Squad a couple of times during the match. That was a fist to the top of the head. Snapped his head back. There's a double team. The Mod Squad makes the exchange. Spike is out. Basher is in for the Mod Squad. J.D. Costello wandering around ringside. Manager of the Brain Trust, if at least he would call himself that, of the Mod Squad.
Let me tell you something about J.D. Costello, Dave. This guy has got no place in this kind of business. Anybody would pull off something like that. I just went back and took a look at where they blazed that fire down and burned Lawler the way they did right here with 2 guys holding him down. And there is absolutely no place for that kind of activity in this or anything else. I tell you, it just makes me absolutely furious to see a guy like this.
Paul Diamond trying to reach the corner, couldn't do it. Stopped by Spike.
Hey, get away from me. I don't even want to see you around here.
Lance Russell, I don't like you up here.
Well, I tell you, the feeling's mutual. I don't care for you either.
Big power slam. Wow.
And that's the problem. You got guys in here. These guys can wrestle the Mod Squad, but they're associated with a jerk like Costello.
He got a 2 count. I thought that was it. I got to tell you. There's Jerry back in the. They're attending to him back in the dressing room.
Yeah, we got a camera back there. They're giving him the medical once over there as to what's happening. Boy, it was a huge spot where they put that fire on him.
All struggling to try to get over there to get the tag on Pat Tanaka, but again, he could not do it. The Mod Squad kept him away from the corner. Basher picking him up by the hair.
Shame to overshadow this Southern Tag effort by an excellent young team of Paul Diamond and Pat Tanaka because of some stupid thing pulled off by J.D. Costello and the Mod Squad. He got him up. They have
Paul Diamond. Boy, he needs to get to the corner and get a tag.
I'm going to run back there, Davey, and see if they found anything else out.
All right. Diamond does get the tag. Pat Tanaka comes in. And with the chop, he's putting both the Mod Squad down to the mat repeatedly. Oh, look out. Everybody in the ring. Pat Tanaka slips around behind, rolls the shoulders down, but the referee's trying to separate him across the ring. J.D. Costello with the rule book across the back of the neck. Nails Pat Tanaka. Referee was trying to separate. Count of 3, that's it. You saw it. You saw what happened. J.D. Costello jumps in there, hits Pat Tanaka with that Mod Squad rule book, and then the referee counts Pat Tanaka out. The Mod Squad grabbing the Southern Tag Team title belts, and they head out of here as they have still got the belts in hand. But you saw how they did it. They did it with J.D. Costello interfering. All right, but back in the dressing room, they're still working on the King back there. You see Eddie Marlin working on him. Lance, how is he? You were just back there.
He's badly burned, Dave, where they fired that stuff and just absolutely blistered his entire side right there. And I missed it out here, but I understand you to say
J.D.
Costello again.
Yeah, Costello. Tanaka had one of the Mod Squad down for what could have been a 3 count. The referee was trying to separate the other 2 over in the corner. Costello gets in there with a rule book and right across the back of the head.
Oh, neat.
So the Mod Squad keep the title. 7:24 the time on it.
All right. I guess we're going to check, see a little bit more on Jerry. We'll take time out and be back in a moment. We still got an international heavyweight title match to go. We're here with Eddie Marlin and Dutch Mantell. We wanted an update on Jerry.
Well, I just talked to the medic, and the medic said it was dangerous for infection to set in. If it did, he'd be off for a long time. So I got on the phone, and Phil Hickson said he would be here to take his place. Said he was a friend of his, and he would.
So Lawler's not going to be able to wrestle this week?
No, sir. The infection.
Well, I know with burns that's right. One of the biggest things.
He's got a bad burn, and to get the dust off the mat, infection set in, he'll be off a long time. But Phil Hickson will take his place.
And let me say this, Eddie. I think something ought to be done about J.D. Costello, because there's no place in this sport for his actions and the way he is. He just like Lawler said before, he's just like Jimmy Hart. He's the least. Now, it's a shame that Lawler can't wrestle, but Hickerson is going to come.
Let me just say one thing right now, Eddie. I appreciate the call, but nobody has taken my place. If you think this right here is going to stop me from wrestling, you got another thing coming, brother. Let me tell you something, J.D. Costello. It's going to take a lot more than a girl like you to stop a man like me, punk. I promise you that. This is the beginning right here. If you think this is going to put me down, you got another thing coming, brother. You want to play with fire? We'll play with some fire. I'm going to be there. The Dutchman is going to be there. You show up with your stinking Mod Squad, and I promise you, it'll be the last match you're ever in, sir.
Well, you better think again. Talk to him, Eddie. Of course, I know Lawler. There ain't a whole lot of talking to him. It was just like with his leg thing. Well, we got a championship match coming up here, David.
Oh, we sure do. International title on the line. Referee has it in hand right now. Billy Travis defending that international belt. And defending it against some rugged competition here today. This should be a tremendous match to watch, as a couple of guys who are about the same size go at each other. I think it'd probably be a good match anyway, but you throw that international title in, extra incentive, and you have the makings of a good one. All right.
Yeah, and Hustler Rip Rogers has had so many belts himself, and he's been without, so he is hungry.
Yes, indeed.
Here we go.
Well, he's had belts, but he has not had belts in this area, so I think he's probably looking to prove something around here.
No, he's been primarily a regional champion. He's going now after the international heavyweight title. Billy Travis, a youngster who got what was considered to be, at that time, an upset win over Abdul Gaddafi to take the international title. Reverses! And the Hustler puts the foot right smack under the throat.
Rip Rogers takes Billy over to the turnbuckle, slammed that head into the top one. Look at, you can see him grabbing him by the hair and snapping the head back into the corner. Travis fired across the way into the ropes. Rip Rogers, boy, he's powerful.
Rogers held a couple of titles. One of them, again, was a regional title in bodybuilding in Kentucky, and was also like a fourth finisher in a national contest a few years back. He is powerful.
There's a cover. One count is all he gets. Billy Travis kicks out of it. Travis. Thought he had him reversed. He does catch himself and presses him down to the mat. Rogers' shoulders down for the 1 count, and the 1 count only. Minute 40 seconds gone. Championship match. Didn't mention at the beginning, this one is a 1/2 hour time limit. Billy Travis thrown out of the ring down under the floor. Rip Rogers out there after him. Referee down there keeping an eye on things. Look out. Rip Rogers with atomic knee drop on the floor. Billy Travis holding his back, lying on the floor. Referee starts the count. Counts at 2.
Travis struggling his way up as Rogers waiting on him. He puts the shoulder in the midsection. Comes over the top. Can he get the sunset flip? The referee kicked his hands loose. Whoa.
Count of 1. Yeah. Rogers was hanging onto the ropes. The referee broke that hold on the ropes. Billy rolled the shoulders down, but just couldn't quite hold him for the 3 count. Rip Rogers trying to take control again. He has actually been in control most of the way in the match, and there's one reason. He's choking the stew out of him. Got that left arm wrapped, left hand wrapped right around Billy Travis's throat.
International heavyweight title match on the line. Special 1 fall 30-minute time limit for our Championship Wrestling television program today by agreement. And Billy blocked him, took him down into the small package. But Rogers again kicks out of it. Travis swinging back with that big right hand. He's going to it. Travis was not afraid any time to use tactics like that, particularly in the early days. He's cleaned his act up a great deal, but he remembers how, and look at him go after Rogers.
He's got Rogers backing up now. He picks him up. He gives him the atomic knee drop. He can do it, too. That was in the ring instead of on the floor. Follows with a drop kick. He's got him down. Count is 2.
Foot on the rope.
Yeah, foot on the bottom rope there. Stop that at 2. Billy Travis coming back. Rogers tried to reverse and reversed him into the referee. Referee Jerry Calhoun down.
He did a 360 on him, but took the referee down. And look at Rogers.
Took the referee's belt off.
Yeah, he took off the referee's belt, wraps it up around his hand. Billy Travis picked up and knocked down with that belt. This would be an awfully good spot for a disqualification on a hood like Rip Rogers, who goes to that kind of means. He's got a hangman on him at the belt, and it's going to be a disqualification.
It is disqualification. The referee rules it. And Travis, whoa, he went after him. He got his hands on that belt. He missed him. But Billy Travis keeps the belt. On the disqualification, he's still the international champion.
I think the way Billy started coming back on him and was taking over in control, Rogers decided he needed desperate means, and when he pulled the referee's belt off, he was a dead line on being defeated by disqualification. Travis hung right in there with him, and he was swinging the belt when it was all over with. Still the international heavyweight title holder, Billy Travis. Back in a moment.
Okay, well, you've seen it all, and by golly, I'll tell you what, that's not the end of it. It's just all of what happened on Championship Wrestling with J.D. Costello's Mod Squad and Jerry Lawler and all of that. Boy, let me tell you, a lot of it going to be coming down Wednesday night right there in the Evansville Coliseum, which Dutch Mantell and Jerry Lawler beat the Mod Squad.
Beat the Mod Squad. You get your facts straight. I did this on television because I wanted everyone across the nation to see what we could do to the king, Jerry Lawler, the king of wrestling, if you can call him that. Nobody does that to me. Nobody refuses $100,000 to me, and then nobody throws me into the squared circle and strips my clothing off. And let me talk to you about what's coming up Wednesday night in Evansville, Lance Russell. I hope you're there. I hope everybody's there, because I want everyone to see what Spike and Basher are going to do to Jerry Lawler. Spike's going to bring along the gasoline. Basher's going to bring along the matches, and Jerry Lawler's going to go up in smoke forever.
That's a marvelous mentality when you're talking about coming out here burning somebody. Let me tell you something. You guys and your fellas right here aren't the only ones that know about fire. Lawler knew about it long before you guys ever got around to wrestling.
I'm not worried about Jerry Lawler. We proved what he was on television. All you sleazy fans, come on out. If he's the king of wrestling, you better come out and support him, because we're going to tear him apart limb by limb and then set him on fire.
Well, I think that's why they're going to have the match, and I know you're not by yourself. Lawler wants you guys and your fellas back just as much as you're talking about wanting to get in the ring. We'll find out when it comes Wednesday night in the Evansville Coliseum just how happy you are to have to climb in. And just because you're supposed to be sitting on the outside, don't think Lawler's forgotten about you.
You see what this is? This is the Southern Tag Team Champions. We didn't get these easy. We worked for them. Nobody's taking them away from us. They belong to our belts. They belong to us now. They belong to us yesterday, and they'll belong to us tomorrow. We're the champions. Jerry the King Lawler has to prove himself.
Yeah, he's proved himself. Well, you see it Wednesday.
Well, I guess you guys are proud of what J.D. Costello pulled off.
Hey, brother, J.D. Costello, do you really think that the Nature Boy and the Superstar would hang around with J.D. Costello? You're looking at class, folks. You're looking at the Southern Heavyweight Champion. So why would we hang around with J.D. Costello? We hang around with, like, what would you say, Jerry Lee Lewis? We hang around with... Big fight going on in the hall out there. What do you... With who?
Huh?
Fight or something?
Uh-oh. Well, Dutch Mantell and the Mod Squad is who it is out there. They're outside the studio in there. They're trying to pull them apart. The Dutchman was involved, and now you see him. There's Frank Morrell. He's trying to get them pulled apart in there, and I can't tell exactly who all it is. That looks like a Basher right there. Ooh, it blew up right out in the hall, and you can imagine that's a kind of atmosphere that J.D. Costello is prone to stimulate around when he does all the kind of stuff that they've done. Mantell, boy, I tell you, nickel dime or the parking lot, there's the king. He's back at it. He is ready to get a hold of him. Dutch and the king going after J.D. and the Mod Squad. for pulling what they did. They finally got them separated back. Oh, you just love that, don't you? Yeah.
We could have whooped every one of them, Lance Russell. We could have whooped every one of them, right, Bill?
Getting right back to this, we're not selling you short. You're looking at the Southern heavyweight champion, and that just goes to show you the low life in the class that they are, rolling around in the gutter like no, the nature boy and the superstar would never do that. Now, I'm just going to tell you something, Billy Travis. You're on your way up the ladder, Daddy. Well, your greatest thrill is going to be getting in the ring with me, and it's going to be happening in 2 times in one night, Lance Russell. He's going to climb in great, and when he leaves, he's going to be a bum without a belt, because I'm going to have 2.
Well, we'll find it out. There you hear it.
Just like the superstar was saying before we were so rudely interrupted. Do you think that we hang out with the likes of J.D. Costello? No, we don't. We hang out with Farrah Fawcett, Josh Lynch, and guys like that. You know what I'm talking about, Daddy?
We are big stars,
Jerry
and so is
Lewis.
every one of them guys we mentioned.
Okay.
Go, bye.
Buddy Landell, Bill Dundee. We're going to take a break and be back in just a moment. Wild, exciting show today, David. We're out of time. For Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying, till next week. Bye-bye, everybody.